Before we begin, if you're someone who is searching for clarity, discipline, or um, simply a way to navigate life with more control and purpose, then you're in the right place. Make sure you subscribe to Michael Reads, turn on your notifications, hit the like button. If you find value in today's session, share this with someone who needs it as well. The more people we can get this message out to, the absolute better you look. And supporting this channel is absolutely free. It costs you nothing. So yeah, it will just allow me to keep bringing great messages out of these great books to you, and hopefully that will shape your life. And as we go through this, I encourage you to just listen, not to just listen, sorry, but to also reflect, because you're about to hear from what you're about to hear from Marcus Aurelius is, in theory, it's a guide to living. So just a quick introduction to meditations. If this is your first time on the live stream, Meditations is not a traditional book. It was never written for an audience. They are the private messages and private thoughts of a Roman emperor, written in moments of solitude and often during war. There is no structure in the conventional sense, no chapters designed to persuade or entertain. Instead, we have 12 books, each a collection of reflections on life, duty, resilience, and the nature of the human mind. And what makes this book so powerful, and these words, is that you're reading the unfiltered thoughts of one of the most powerful men in history, reminding himself how to stay grounded. So, what we will be doing today, as we've covered the whole book, you can see it and find it in a playlist here on Michael Reads, where in the playlist we went through book by book. I did a reading of the whole book and gave a little brief summary of my thoughts on it. But today, I'm just doing a quick recap of all the chapters, just in summary. But if you want a more detailed look, have a look at the playlist. And we have covered as well The Art of War by Sun Tzu and Bushido by Inazo Nitobi, which are equally great books. So here's a book by book summary. And book one, Marcus Aurelius is focusing on gratitude and his foundations. So book one is unlike the rest. It is more a tribute. Marcus reflects on the people who shaped him: his grandmother, his grandfather, his father, his teachers, and what each one taught him. So he was taught discipline, humility, patience, and integrity. So there is no philosophy here in the abstract, only lived example. The lesson is simple but profound from book one. Who you become is built upon who you learn from. So, who you are currently learning from, your mentor, is someone who could shape your future. If you don't have a mentor or someone who you are learning from, I suggest you go out and find someone. Or simply pick up a book. Book two, Facing the Day. Marcus begins with a powerful reminder: you will meet difficult people today. Not might, you will. You will meet difficult people. But instead of resisting this, he frames it that people act out of ignorance and not malice. He urges himself to stay aligned with reason, to act with kindness regardless of any of the situation, and to remember that his role is not to control others, but to master himself. Because once you master yourself, it's easier to deal with any situation or 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 any vibration that the next person brings to you. Um, Book three, the shortness of life. Here, Marcus reflects on time. Life is fleeting, not in a poetic sense, but in a brutally honest one. He reminds himself not to waste time on distraction, on his ego, or waste time on trivial matters. Every moment is an opportunity to act with purpose and virtue. So, if something isn't essential, it should not take your time, because once the time is lost, once the time is gone, you will not get it back, my friends. Book four. Uh, this is where Stoicism deepens. Marcus speaks about the mind as a fortress, an inner citadel that cannot be disturbed unless you allow it. External events are neutral. It is your judgment that gives them meaning. Control your thoughts, and you control your experience of life. So, book five, resistance and discipline. Marcus acknowledges something very human here. He talks about resistance, the struggle to get out of bed, the reluctance to do what must be done, and he challenges it directly. We are made to act, to contribute, and to fulfill our roles. To avoid effort is to go against your nature. Let that sink in. To avoid effort is to go against your nature. It is in our nature to contribute, uh, to act, and to fulfill our roles. It's as simple as that. So, on those days when you wake up, you look out your window, and the weather isn't quite favored to you, just still get up, act, contribute, and fulfill your role. Book six, living in accordance with nature. This book reinforces a core Stoic belief: live in harmony with nature, not nature as in the outdoors, but human nature, rational nature. Act with logic, act with justice, act for the greater good. Everything that happens is part of a larger order, and your role is to respond with virtue. And then he goes on to book seven, which is mastering perception. Marcus sharpens his focus on perception. Things are not disturbing. Your interpretation of them is. He reminds himself to strip situations down to their essence, to see things as they are, not as emotions exaggerate them. Clarity replaces chaos. An example I could give for modern times, like road rage. It's like people are just so quick to anger. And it's like you could just speak to each other, because 9 times out of 10 someone has done wrong, and it's much better to own up to your mistakes rather than to cause situations which just escalate and escalate, and sometimes can become dangerous. Marcus Aurelius, who was a Roman emperor, he says in here, strip down situations to their essence, to see things as they are. Use logic, and not let emotions take over. It's all about thinking and then acting on those thoughts rather than acting on emotions. Book 8, Simplicity and Focus. This book is a call to simplicity. Marcus warns against overcomplication of thoughts, of actions, and desires. It's kind of sort of reiterating what we went through on the previous book, but focus on what truly matters: doing good, thinking clearly, and staying aligned with your principles. If you don't know what your principles are, um, dig deep, look within you, and try to find out what they are, and then start working um, on making them habit. Everything else, besides those things that he mentioned, is just noise. So in book 9, here Marcus emphasizes our connection to others. We are not isolated beings. We are part of a whole. To act unjustly towards another is to act against yourself. I don't know if I can repeat that. We are not isolated beings. We are part of a whole. To act unjustly towards another is to act against yourself. Even when wronged, the response should not be revenge, but understanding and integrity. So, book 10. This is a deeply reflective section. Marcus reminds himself to return inward, to reconnect with reason and calmness. No matter what happens externally, you can always come back to yourself. Your peace is always within reach if you choose it. Book 11. This book explores how to live honorably. Marcus reflects on qualities like sincerity, patience, and strength of character. He stresses that philosophy is not something you talk about, it's something you live. Your actions are the true measure of your philosophy. And the book ends on, the book ends on book 12, where the final book carries a sense of closure, where Marcus reflects on death, not with fear, but with acceptance. Life is temporary, fame is temporary, everything passes. So, what matters? Living well right now, acting with virtue right in this moment, because in the end, that is all that remains. So, when you step back and look at meditations as a whole, what you see is not a man trying to control the world, despite being the Roman emperor, which we know the influence that the Romans had on this earth. But but a man relentlessly working to control himself. That is the real power of this book. That is, I really implore you to get yourself a copy, or just uh listen to the readouts that I did on my channel. And this was just a brief summary, and if this has resonated with you, even in the smallest way of, or is making you feel you need to um, grab yourself a copy, maybe take up reading as a habit. Like I'm doing this for me, but I'm sharing it with you. I strongly encourage you to get yourself a copy of Meditations and experience these thoughts firsthand. And if you want to go deeper, like I said, I've covered the book in detail, in full detail, right here on Michael Reads. Those live streams are designed to help you truly absorb and apply these lessons to your life. So make sure you are subscribed, keep notifications turned on, and stay connected, because this is just the beginning of what we're building here on this channel. Remember, you can't control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond, and that changes everything. So, with that, guys, I thank you for joining me on this very short live stream. I look forward to seeing you on the next one, which is scheduled for the weekend coming. I know it's a Saturday. I know it's gonna be bank holiday. There's holidays all over the world. But if you find yourself with not much to do, um, just join in with me where I will be talking about Marcus Aurelius as a man, as the emperor, what he really was like, what he achieved, what he had gained, what life people who lived under his rule said about him. And I tell you what, it is something that is really admirable. It's something that is absolutely mind blowing, and I just cannot wait to do that live stream. And it will be the final live stream that I will be doing on the subject of meditation. And then next week, I'm hoping that we will be starting on a fresh book, on a new format. There's going to be some changes made to the channel, which I am excited for. So please stay tuned. And I just have very high hopes, and I'm truly grateful for all of you. And as well, I'd like to say a big thank you because we've just surpassed a thousand views. Absolutely mind blown to think I just started filming myself reading a chapter of a book here on YouTube just a few months ago, because I wanted to make reading a habit. So I thought to make it consistent, I will schedule it as live streams. But now it's changed me in such a way that consistency is what I long for, and I'm helping people get closer to reading books rather than relying on the internet as a source of information, which we all know it's not a reliable source of information. But I've also changed so much. I've also felt the change from all the text that I've read, all the influence from the books. So I'm super excited, and I'm super grateful to each and every one of you. So thank you so much. And instead of me waffling on, I will just leave it there for today. Please like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends about it, and welcome as well to the new subscribers. I noticed that I've got some new subscribers. So yes, I am truly grateful to each and every one of you. So thank you so much, and I will hopefully catch you at the weekend. If you can't make it, that's absolutely fine. It'll be that video will also be, like this one, part of the playlist for meditations by Marcus Aurelius. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining me on Michael Reads. Ta-da.